Alright, so, I'm going to be doing a review of Star Wars Tales of the Empire. This came out for May the 4th, and yeah. So Tales of the Empire just had one trailer, and it was just like, oh, well, here you go. This is Star Wars Tales of the Empire. Here's your food, eat it. And as like with Tales of the Jedi, it was 6 episodes, 3 episodes for two different characters, and we focused on one character. I'm like, well, all right, she's part of the new continuity we're building in between, between sequel trilogy and the Mandalorian era of Star Wars. So I get it. And the other is one that I think we've all been waiting for. Like, this is the one that we've been like constantly like hoping and praying like we would get anything with this character. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. I really feel like they dropped the ball. I really do feel like they effectively dropped the ball in this situation. Like, I definitely feel like it did not live up to the hype, and that is of course Barra Sophie, which is a character we've been waiting to see what her fate was post, the Rise of the Empire, and a character, the loose plot thread that has been left alone for years since the Clone Wars era. So we finally get that answer, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that answer was really not satisfying. But I'll get to Barriss in a bit, because I have a lot more to say about that. Let's talk about Morgan Elsbeth. The Morgan Elsbeth section was actually really good. Morgan Elsbeth is a character I feel like I have, she was a cool villain, but then they kind of took that away for making her a Night Sister. That was my thing in the Ahsoka series, where I was like, oh, she's a Night Sister. Why? Like, why do we need to... Oh, right, Dave Filoni just can't help but suck his own cock, that's why. And there's a lot of, again, Filoniisms in here. But yeah, she is a Night Sister, and here, like, it was kind of cool to go back to the to Grievous's purge of the Night Sisters in that first episode. I really did like that. I really enjoyed seeing, not for Schadenfreude, but it reminded me of a time of one of the coolest story arcs with that focused on Asajj Ventress. I really enjoyed going back to the Night Sister purge. Elsbeth herself, it was kind of cool to see all of like how she builds with this character, how we get from Night Sister to powerful war profiteer with Thrawn's help. But at the same time, it really does feel like she's just kind of like, it really does feel like Elsbeth herself is more of a vehicle for like promoting how cool Thrawn is. Like, it's almost like Star Wars, the Star Wars era can't help itself but go, see, you're using Thrawn, don't you like us? Don't you want to give us your money? I mean attention? Yeah, Thrawn's here. And don't get me wrong, seeing Thrawn here was really cool. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm just saying, like, this era of Star Wars has now gotten to the Thrawn apology era, right? Like, it really does feel like it's gotten to a Thrawn apology era. But no, I really like that. I like the whole story of Morgan, because this is supposed to be Tales of the Empire. The Empire, they're not good guys. So it's nice to see a character who believes fully in the Empire and what its cause is, and seeing how that character progresses. So that was cool. Now, let's talk about Barriss's story, which I was like, I'll watch Barriss's first, and then I'll go to... I didn't watch it in chronological order. I was like, well, it's like an anthology series. I'll just start with... I'll do Morgan next, and then do Barriss second. But... because Barriss is a character I think we can all agree has been the one that has... like, we've been waiting to see what the story is. And this one is chock full of Filoniisms, as I like to call it, for a multitude of reasons. So the first episode really does start out strong, of showcasing Barriss. Yes, she did join the Inquisitors, like we all kind of theorized that she became an Inquisitor. And of course, we get the Vader cameo. Don't that's just for marketing. Don't don't think on anything. If Vader's going to do anything of importance in this story arc, there's no chance of that. No sirree, Bob. He's just there to show. I swear to God, they just used Vader for the trailer. I swear to God, I think they just used him for trailer marketing, and that was it. It was cool to see the Grand Inquisitor again and see how they recruited other Jedi other young fallen Jedi into the Inquisitors. The whole thing of like Barriss like tapping into the full dark side was really cool, and I was like, man, I'm looking forward to seeing like how this goes. And then the next 2 episodes happened. In the span of like 1 episode, and then it gets worse in the 3rd episode. The span of 1 episode, like, Barriss is all in on because, like, yeah, I'm surviving, this is the Empire, this is how the rules are, and, like, immediately her first mission, she immediately caves. Like, this could have been so cool as showcasing a, fall from grace for the character. There was a lot of potential for that, and then we get to, nope, I'm actually still a Jedi, they're still good at me, and I'm gonna save this random Jedi, because Filoni can't help himself. When he makes a new character, he can't kill it off. He can't kill them off, that's the problem. Lynn in here is pretty fascinating as seeing how fast she fell to the dark side, but then that gets immediately ruined because we get to the 3rd episode, and Barriss is now like a healer who wants to help this family who's force sensitive, and Lynn shows up. Barriss is now like fully good. I believe in the Jedi cause. What a darkness took over me. I'm like, you attacked the Jedi because you weren't like totally down with the war, and like you tried to you assassinated people, Lynn. You're a murderer. It's the same thing of like, like the whole thing, and I've said it before with Bo-Katan, where it's like Bo-Katan is treated like a King Arthur character, but do people forget that she helped Maul, like, commit an act of terrorism that led to, acts of terrorism that led to her sister being murdered by said terrorists she was assisting? Are we just going to throw that on the rug that she committed domestic terror, that Barriss committed? Oh, right, it's Dave Filoni. He's just going to say, like, oh, she felt bad about it off script. No, you have to write that shit, dude. Like, in the span of, like, 1 episode, all the interest of Barriss going to the dark side falls out. And then we get to her being a healer, and she gets stabbed, and I'm like, well, at least, Filoni doesn't... Oh, no, Barriss is alive, and Lynn's there, too. Great, they both get to live. Because Dave Filoni can't kill any character. Why? It's like you bring in this character, and it's a character that we've wanted to see. And yes, making her an Inquisitor makes so much sense. And what I was kind of hoping for was that we do see her as the Inquisitor and maybe encounter Ahsoka. That would have been a cool way to end it. Like, Ahsoka's on the run. She just killed... Like, have it as a sequel to the Tales of the Jedi Ahsoka storyline, and have it be that she killed the Inquisitor, she's got the lightsabers now, and this is her using those lightsabers the first time around, and it's a great way to end that story between her and Barriss, of closing, because again, Barriss is the one who betrayed her, and now she's the one who's been tasked to go after her and kind of close that chapter. And if you wanted to have Barriss see the light, you literally could have done her encountering Ahsoka, and that whole thing of like, yeah, I can still see good in you, I can see that you're fighting against the dark, but, and Barriss is like, I can't, there's no going back. Ahsoka kills her, like Akira Kurosawa style, excuse me, and that could have been our story right there. But nope, Barriss is good again, and she gets to live after being stabbed by a lightsaber, and Lynn gets to find quickly out of the dark side after committing, in the previous episode, just genocide, like a little town-sized genocide. So, neat. I swear, like, the one problem I've been having with Star Wars, and it's not just Filoni, it's like, and not just Disney-era Star Wars, but, like, all eras of Star Wars, where it's like, are we just gonna gloss over like a character getting redeemed, but also like we're gonna gloss over the horrendous acts of horror that they committed, right? Like Vader blowing up, being a part of blowing up Alderaan, and killing all the Jedi and assisting in this fascist government that lasted for about 30 years. But that one is a little more because he dies right after, but he sees whatever. I'm now I'm arguing semantics now. All in all, it's half good, and it sucks too because I really like Tales of the Jedi. I really love the Ahsoka and Dooku stories. Here, I just feel like we got cock-teased by a storyline that we've been wanting to see play out and what we've been hoping to see, and it's just a generic redemption story. And also, the other thing is it just me or these episodes feel really fast? Like, I need to go back and check, like, the runtime for Tales of the Jedi episodes, but these feel ridiculously short, and, like, the characterization feels really clunky because of it. I don't know. But, yeah, here, I'd say just watch the Morgan Elsbeth story and, skip Barriss. That's really it. Anyway. So there you go, guys. That's my review of Star Wars Tales of the Empire. You guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse, and long live the Empire.